Hello, and welcome to Life Rhythms, Tarot, Food, and Spirit. We are just around the corner from the winter solstice, and then, of course, the holiday of Christmas is a few days ahead of that, and the end of year, New Year's 2018 upon us. And I've been keeping up with many of you and your offerings and video responses to 2017 highlights and hug decks. And I think Veronica Rose has one about how you celebrate around this time of year to wind back to what that video request response is. And I'm hoping to get to a few of these today within the next couple of days. Been somewhat quiet from all of my social media activities as I've been working on a project, an offering that I've put together for some of my family members and some very dear people who have supported me in the last year, especially on my personal journey. So that has had me very wrapped up. And when I lifted my head up and noticed all the activity that's been going on here in this community, I was like, wow, I've got to, or I want to dip my feet back in the water here. So I'm going to do that at this moment with an unboxing, which will be somewhat of a proper unboxing. I think I've only done maybe one. I know I've done one. That was my very first unboxing, and it was like in the dark here. I was so excited. I had just started to watch a lot of videos from this community, and I wanted to become involved. I've been so isolated so much in 2016 and 17, and as I'd begun to feel better, I was like, okay, let's see how I can introduce myself to the community. And I was in the dark here on the couch, and I think it was soul cards actually. So what I have here today, I'm so excited about, and this my possession of this is in some ways thanks to Two Spirit, Simon over at Two Spirit, because when I had been, I think it was an October review or maybe my November review, and I had shown some of the cards from this shamanic tarot by Sue Kovacs. He made the comment about how it was reminiscent for him of the Margarete Petersen's deck, of Margarete Petersen's tarot. Oh, here we go again with my awkward late afternoon lighting here. And her deck had been on my radar, but I was not, as it was on my radar at that point in time, I was not into getting more decks or using more decks or anything like this. So I hadn't been inoculated yet into the deck kind of, I want to have that deck in my hands environment. So I kind of knew it was there and I didn't do anything about it. But when Simon, so this is the Sue Kovacs Dream Dust Shamanic Tarot. When Simon brought up Margarete Petersen's tarot, I was like, oh yeah, let me see about that. And it took a little time, but I was able to locate it on eBay. And this arrived last night actually. And when it arrived, I said to my partner, it's like, oh my gosh, I want to open that, but I really want to try and do a proper unboxing. And he's like, well, I think you can wait. So I waited now almost 24 hours to open this up. And here it is. Comes bubble wrapped, very nicely bubble wrapped. And I know that there are a few unboxing videos of this out there. To be honest, I have not watched them. So this, I've seen, of course, images from the deck, but having it in hand is a complete surprised. So it's wrapped. It seems like a basic cardboard box. I tend to have trouble keeping these boxes and usually find myself transferring from this type of box into a bag or something of some sort. I just find this flip top to be, just gets a lot of wear and tear over time, especially if it's a deck you end up using a bit. I've had that problem with the Ashara Tarot, and so let's see. So here's the cover. Margarete Petersen Tarot, that simple, that direct. And here is the quintessential little white book. I know a lot of people make a deal about the quality of this book and the information that it gives. I read so intuitively that I find that I'll refer to these a bit, but most of the time I'm not swayed by the deck based on the book. But just to share, it is 78 pages. And let's just go to the table of contents. So this was first, she really came into her experience with the tarot around 1979, as I understand it, and I believe that this deck took 22 years to create. That's some of the stuff that I've read online, some of the cursory understanding that I have. And so the book, the little white book, has a section on the majors, the court cards, and then the pips. And I believe that this deck, if it's going to be as abstract as the Dream Dust deck, let's see what we have. I'm not great at, my hands are better actually from when I first did my first unboxing a few months ago. So here we are. And we will begin with the Fool. The back of the cards is this somewhat, well, not somewhat, this abstract orange and blue, oranges and blues, a little hint of green and yellow in there. And we'll go with the Fool inside what I would take to be a moon, a crescent, could it also, and then the sun beaming down, almost like one of those little Christmas globes with the, like the person in the snow, that feeling, and then the environment around it. And then for the Magician, we have magic, that face in there. So far already, this is actually more pictorial than the Dream Dust, where you certainly don't have any, leaning in toward anything that you would say, oh, that's a person, or that's a moon, or a crescent, or anything like that. The High Priestess. Wow. Okay, so that's fantastic. In the egg, in gestation, in the egg, there. Wow. And that's if you see in some images of the High Priestess, she has the egg just to the side of her, and so. This could be definitely be a reference to that. Wow, okay. The Empress, fantastic, in all of her reproductive glory, if you will, her productive glory. The Emperor in his box of a throne, in his stability. Hierophant. These are fantastic. I was not, honestly, I wasn't sure what I was going to be in for with these cards. I have not, I've seen some of the images, but I actually have not seen any of these. The Lovers. Wow. And to me, that here in the center is like both a spine and a snake. The Kundalini rising here, right up to the third eye center. The Chariotress. And to me, this right here, this is just really off the bat, this energy center here, kind of the place, the seat of your will, the Manipura chakra, that's just what's coming right forward right here for that. And then, wow, there's going to be a lot to lean into, to see into. Justice. And then for the Hermit, she names the crone in isolation, in a stark mountainous place to me. Wheel of Life. And what is strength taming here? Not a lion, but it looks like a dragon of sorts. Fantastic. Demon. In your mind, what are you letting go of? Trial. Huh. Unusual. Naming of the Hanged One or the Hanged Man. Wow, okay. Onward. Death. Serpentine. Certainly. Snake, my totem. Meeting the light and the dark. Meeting at the base. Traveling toward the base where the Kundalini rests. Wow, Mediatrix. Temperance. Mediatrix. Wow. And Temperance is my card for this month, for December, as we're winding down, and I feel like I'm just beginning to lean more deeply into that, which is, of course, what we would imagine would happen as you're working with something just dedicated to one thing over a longer period of time. And wow, this is definitely going to make its way onto my altar for these last 10 days. I'm going to pull that out right now. The Devil. And I think for the sake of time, I'm not going to go through every minor arcana, but the Tower, I'll just show a few, one or two of each. I find it, honestly, in truth, I find it hard to sit through an entire unboxing. Even those of you who give so much information, it's just like, it's just not, but I mean, I'm saying that and you're probably gonna click off, but I'm just being honest. I think honesty and truth, what is honesty? What is truth? Just being in truth is so important. And I have a lot of patience for a lot of things, but I don't want to bore you with the entire thing. The Moon. The crab in there, the crab, I think it's a crab. It looks more like a lobster, but oh God, the wolf howling, the dog at just collapse in a way, at rest. Wow, and then here the sun, and there we have a glimpse of what might be like the Lovers at the bottom there, of two embraced beings. Beautiful. Judgment is renewal. It's beautiful. What clarity is being brought in to your mind's eye. Really beautiful. When you receive the judgment card. And then the world. There's a lot of detail here, and I will apologize, as I tend to always do in these videos, because I don't have the great lighting, and I know many of us say that, but you know, but I think like anything, how do you really show a piece of art on a camera, a phone camera? So anyway, onto the flames. So wands must be flames. Ace. Just see, I'll pull through. Oh, wow, okay. So we got the conflict of the five of flames. You see that conflict in there. The line drawings. And then the coming together, the nourishment here, some creative nourishment, receptivity. 6. Let's go to the court card. She names the page the daughter. And then the knight, the sun. Oh, wait. Could I be totally wrong here? Yeah, okay, I think that was correct. Oh, so they're in an odd order. Now, I have to do some reading on this because, or whatever I might be able to find. Oh, it's probably going to be in the book. There, see? The little white book. That's where I get that information. I believe that she's naming the mother the king. And I'm going to check that right away. And then here's the father, because of the order they're in here. And then it might be that the sun is the page. So there you go, Christine. Don't poo-poo that little white book. And I wasn't meaning that. It's just that I don't tend to use it that much. Let's see what she says here. I chose the terms mother, father, daughter, and son on purpose because we are all familiar with them. I believe that that's what it is. The four contains the female element represented by the mother and daughter, the male element represented by the father and son. So she doesn't exactly say this, but I think that that is what it is, that the mother is at the top of the hierarchy, and then there's the father, and then there's the daughter, and then there's the son. So in the comments below, you can all correct me if I'm wrong, and I will certainly sleuth some more proper information on that, especially for my own use. And then here we have the feathers, which are the swords, I will believe. And this, in a way, is a very softening representation of swords, because you're really talking about this element of air here, and much less this coming together, the 6 of feathers, and coming into the mind's eye in a way. The 8. Let's see if we can get, and then the 10 is like a growing up into the heavens in a way. And then the mother, the seeing eye. daughter slaying of dragons. This is somewhat reminiscent of the Daughter of Swords in the Mother piece, although I think that this is a different position. So again, so there will be some research done here. And then the pentacles are coins, so that's definitely a more traditional assignation. Two of coins, and I've seen this type of representation for the two across several decks, and I rather like it, so it doesn't bother me that this is something that I feel like I've seen across several decks, but I actually find it very very representative for me of what the Two of Coins is about. I love this continuous sharing or showing of the snake moving through so much of the major and many of the minors that I've already pulled, even if it's even just faint. Very beautiful. Six of Coins. Interesting. That is a very unusual representation. This one will require study. Mother of Coins. Father. And again, I've already said it several times. I could be completely wrong. I have to look and see what she means by these court cards, what order she's kind of referring, or maybe she's completely dismantling it as a hierarchy in some way. Matriarchal as its flavor, if you will, but and then from there we'll see Ace of Cups, gorgeous. The lotus coming out of the mud. Five of Cups. These are gorgeous. Simon, I'm going to extend you a huge thank you for bringing this this deck back to the forefront of my consciousness, and I'll thank Universe and Goddess for helping it make its way to me. There were not many out there. Many that I did see were outrageously. There was no way that I could even consider paying the amount that was being asked. And this came from Poland. And I will have to say that I have had several interactions with tools, metaphysical tools coming from Poland, and it's been so easy. Like it seems like there's this wealth over there coming from there to here somehow. It's just some karma that I have, perhaps. Father. Daughter. And son. So, gosh, there's so much. I have things to do that are on my list, and all I really want to do is sit with this deck, as I'm sure all of us have experienced time and again, but it will have to wait until this evening. I thank you for watching whatever part or all of this that you have watched, and I am so thankful to be communicating in this community. And again, Simon, thank you so much for as I've said, bringing this back to the forefront for me, and blessings be to all, and I will be back with my 2017 highlights at some point soon. Until then, be well.